Are we recording?
Yes, we're recording. Go, go.
So I should go. Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Recursor has allowed me to come in and explain a couple of the things that he has done to modify the tweening library. Remember the mathematical library here? I want to point your attention to this first function here, where the quartic in and out, where he has removed the floating point value here, which would be much more inaccurate, and replaced it with this equation, which contains all integers. Next, he has reduced or simplified this equation for the quadratic in and out, and to this much simpler equation.
Okay, thank you very much. Milton, you can go now.
Well, but I have something else to say. I could...
No, Milton, just go. Listen, Netflix is on upstairs. There's a great documentary on Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, I love Sir Isaac Newton. I'll watch it.
Yes, please do. Go. Okay. As Milton just said, I made a couple of these modifications here just to make it a little bit. This one in particular was simplified, and then this one right here, I just removed this weird, odd floating point number, and I found a simpler equation that would do the same thing. So that's really the end of the tweening library for now, or the tweening module. But I got a request to do a health bar, or how might one do a health bar. So I want to see if I can't tackle that. I haven't really looked into this, but let's make another file called bar.lua, and let's go and grab some of our standard things that we want to use. Let's grab these things, and we'll copy them in here like this, and we will create our class right here. Yes, that sounds very good. And we'll return B, because that's our class. It's not our class. Well, it is, but it's a module. And then we'll need some sort of new functionality like this, and so we'll just grab this here and put this here and say end, and I think I do want some text also. So we have this self.text here. We have it here too. Okay, fantastic. Let's just do a text color, a single text color. I think that's all we'll need for our little bar. And don't have to worry about interactable. Okay, let's do also a self.outline color. Outline color. And let's change this to text color. Yes, indeed. So I'll show you what we're going to hopefully do. I'm going to grab the buttons draw, and we're going to paste it in here, and we're going to change this to this. We'll get the color. We'll set the color to the outline color this time, because we're going to draw the outline right here. It won't be a fill this time. Is it called line? I do not recall. I really don't recall. We'll have to look that one up. Looking it up now, and that would be draw mode. Yes, I'm correct. It's a line. Sorry, I did that off screen. Forgive me. So let's say that our position. See, we're centering this one. Do we want to do that here too? Let's just leave it like the button. Yeah, we'll leave that. There's our font graphics, and then our text, and we're getting the color, the text color. All right, so we should be able to create one of these, I think, and draw it. Let's try that. And let's see, we're in our main menu. Let's go up here. Let's require bar, and we'll require the bar class, and I need to spell that correctly, don't I? And we probably don't even need to, actually we will, because we may want to mess with this bar some. So it equals a bar. Let's put it, let's see, what is our, okay, it's x and y, okay. Let's do x. Where is our label? Is it 12? Let's do 20, and let's do 80. Let's do, for size, let's do 200. For width and for height, let's do 40, just like they were doing here. And we'll just put bar in the text. Let's just see if that works. And we'll add the bar to our entity manager right here. Let's run that and see if we get any errors. And we do a global BS, of course, because I must have not done that. And attempt to call a method update. Of course, there's no update either. Wait a minute now. That, I thought we changed that for the entity so that if, or did we just say yeah, we're just assuming that every entity has an update. So that's fine. We'll just add an update here. DT, and we'll just go ahead and end it. We'll probably put something in there eventually. There's our bar way over here. So that's not exactly where we want it. And we also probably don't want as large of a rectangle bend radius as we were given there. Probably not much of one at all. Let's go back and look and see about the bar. So instead of 2080, let's do 20. Let's do more than 20. Let's do something like 200. See what that looks like. Yes, we're getting there. Let's put this bar down at the bottom. So that would be graphics. Let's just put it in the center. So we can easily do that. We know how to do that. And then we'll also put it, get height. So we'll put it down at the bottom minus whatever our height is, which will be 40. So let's do minus 50. Let's see if our bar does turn out to be at the bottom. Yeah, pretty much. Let's do minus 40. Yeah, that'll work. I'm okay with that. Yes, excellent. So the next thing we need to do is create some sort of fill for our bar. And that means that we'll want some sort of bar color. And color, red. Let's do a red, green, blue, alpha. So we will take, we want to draw it, really we want to draw it before our rectangle here. Our outline rectangle. So we'll do the following. We're going to draw our rectangle will be here, our outline rectangle. So this is our outline. And this will be the bar inside color. Yeah, like the bar inside color. So we need to change that to the bar inside color. And we need to change this to fill, right? But we want our fill to start at the left. So that will be self.x self.y. Is that correct? Am I thinking? No, I'm thinking incorrect, aren't I? Yeah, because that's, yeah, okay. All right. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, people. I'm hearing you. There. Now we have this little bar. So here is the thing. What we'll need to do is have some sort of value. So we can say function, and we'll say set, and then we'll put percentage. How about that? And percentage will be, we'll say self.percentage equals 0, so it starts out not filled at all. And let's do a couple of other things now. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Our rectangle, the outline, we probably need to look into how thick those lines are. You see what? Let's see if I can still run it. No errors. Yeah. See these lines? They're going to take away from, somewhat take away from our available space for our bar size. I'm going to say, let's just say that the line thickness, let's do a local line, or let's say border thickness. Border thickness. Yes. Border thickness equals 2. Yes. So we'll need the percentage. We'll keep track of what percent of the bar is filled. Then we also need to figure out the, what do we call it? Or let's say filled value. Okay, that's gonna end up being self.width minus this 2 times this border thickness that we have up there. And the reason for that is because when we draw that, however thick our border is, and I think we have a 2 pixel thick border, so there's 2 pixel thick size borders on each side, so we don't want to count those. Because we'll probably, what we'll end up doing is offsetting this bar by that pixel border. I'll show you what I mean. Let's go check the checkbox and see how, I don't remember how I did the thickness. Line width. So let's do that also, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and grab the line width, and then let's reset the line width at the end. And I know we can do this with a pop and a push and a pop for the graphics. We may explore that at another date, but for now we're doing it like this. We'll do, before we draw our bar outline, we will set to our border thickness, which will be 2, like so. And you know, this may end up being some sort of style that we apply to the entire user interface. But for now, we'll just do it like this. And you see, that will then draw our outline with the correct line width. Now, we can change border thickness as we so desire up here. Now, the bar inside, not inside, the inside, so this is the fill. We want to add our border thickness to this. And then what we need is we need a percentage. So our percentage, we'll say this is a value between 0 and 100. So what we'll do is we'll max percentage 100. I'm sorry, math.min. So math.min will give us, yes, and then we'll want to say percentage. Okay, here we go. Percentage. We're going to clamp this, and so one way you can clamp it is to say math.max 0, so we don't want to go any below 0, and the other value is the minimum of the percentage, or 100. Yes, I believe that is correct. So when we change that percentage, it's going to be a value between 0 and 100, and in order to tell how much of a filled value we get, we will grab this percentage and we will utilize it with this filled value. Okay, so our self.width will become self dot filled. So this is the total filled value times our percentage divided by 100. And I understand that's a little bit strange and odd and weird, but for now, let's just see what we get. Salary percentage. Of course, I didn't put self. Forgive me. Go to do self here and self here, and also self here. Good old self. See, we have a tiny little chunk of the bar, which is very strange because it should all be 0 at this moment. Let's see. Width, height. Let's do a print real quick and see what our value is here, shall we? I'll enable the debugging and we'll just print. And we are getting a 0, so that's good. All right, I'm going to turn off debugging. We'll get rid of this window. And I think what I want to do is grab this value here. And I'm going to make that a local, and I'm going to call that fill amount. So we'll say local fill amount equals, and what we had originally said, and then we'll do an if statement. We'll say if fill amount is greater than 0, then let's draw the fill. Otherwise, we don't want to draw anything. So this should now be blank, like that. Now what we need to do is we need to come in here in main menu, and let's get a couple of buttons here that we can utilize and see if we can. Let's grab that. So we'll change our button, right? So our bar. So we'll set the percentage. And let's say, I don't know, E. So if we push E, then we'll say self.bar set. What did we say? Set what? Just set. Okay. So set self dot bar dot percentage, or percent. It was percentage. We'll just add 1. Let's add 2. Let's add 1. And let's see if that even works, ladies and gentlemen. So if we hit E, I don't see it doing anything. Well, let's print it here. Self.percentage. Let's see what happens when I push the button. So we need to have that increment. Yeah, so we're doing zeros. Okay. So self.percentage set self.percent. Oh, that's not right. That's what we should have. Sorry. We don't want self there. We want this percentage value. So yeah. So we should be good there. Let's give it a run and see what happens. Yep, see, look at that. Then we can go the opposite way as well, and let's make it a 5 instead of 1s. And let's do this. Else if, let's make it one where we can go down, Q, and we'll say -5. That way we don't have to push the button a whole bunch. So we can go all the way up. And you can see that we have a little bit of an issue here. And hard to see right there, but I think we may have a little deal right there also. I don't know. Tell you what, let's check and make sure the percentage goes up to 100 right there, okay? Let's just make sure. I'll bring over the window when it pops up, and we'll increment. Yeah, we're still 100. Okay, so I see a little bit of an issue right here. So let's do something interesting. Let's see if we can't do some debugging here with that. So let's make the border thickness. Let's make it bigger and see what happens. So when we do E, yeah, see, we're getting, it's a little, it's definitely off some. Wonder why that is. Try this. I'm going to remove that double. It should be right though, but let's see what happens when I do this. It should, yeah, see that? Huh. Oh, that's right. It should be half of the, I would imagine it's probably half of the border thickness. So it's not twice, it's just half. That, I think that makes sense to me. So we divide this by 2, I believe. Since the border is actually starting at those edges, and then as it expands out in both ways. So let's see if this fills it up. And it certainly does. Good. Okay. Let's put the thickness back down to 2, and then we'll run it again and make sure that we have what we desire. Yes, it looks to be nice. Okay. Awesome. We have a little bar here that we can set. And let's go ahead. I know that we can access any of this stuff by accessing just the value for this thing, self.bar, like we did right here. But this whole self.bar blah blah blah, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. Let's add another function. Let me think. Let's add a function to set the text. So if we want to set the text, we can, and we'll say self.text equals text. It's just a way. Again, you can get to this the other way. Without using this, you can just do over here. We could do self.bar.text, but it's just more to type. I don't know. Actually, it's the same, isn't it? Never mind. That's dumb. But we have. We could also set the text to nothing. We could set it so that anytime the bar is, we could do this. We could say local new percentage equals that. And then eventually we want to set self.percentage equal to new percentage. And then we could say if self.percentage is not equal to new percentage, in other words, the bar has actually changed, then we could fire an event. We could fire an event. I'm thinking we may want some sort of ID on this thing, so we can actually fire an event and check which bar it is. We can catch those events if we so desire. Just like we did with, I believe, the checkbox. Didn't we fire an event for the checkbox whenever it was checked? Yes, right here. Well, actually, we gave it self, and I believe we said that the checkbox didn't need an ID because we would use the actual text in the checkbox as the ID. So here we could say, like this, then, and so if it's not equal, then we would fire an event. We could say on bar changed, and we could send it self, and then we could send it the new percentage. How about that? And I'm going to do something a little strange here, but I feel like before I send an event out for the bar changed, I want to go ahead and update that. But that also means that if I do it like this, I'm going to also need to do the following, that right there. So a little bit more hokey, but do as you wish, yes? So we have this on bar changed event, so we can do things with that now. And we may, let's go ahead and say self.id equals ID, or let's just do ID. So now we're going to make you put an ID in for the bar. So the bar ID could be something like, we'll come back up here, we'll say health. Something like that, yes? And then we could come over here and we could duplicate this checkbox changed, and we could say bar changed event. And then we say self on bar changed. And then we give it the bar and the value, which was what we did earlier. And remember why we do this, because we want that implicit self parameter, so we actually create this anonymous function so that it calls self, so that we know we can do things in the context of ourselves here. Hopefully that doesn't confuse anybody too much. All right, so let's go on bar changed. On bar changed, we have bar and value. And now we can print the bar dot ID. That's what we will check on, and we will do the following, which is on bar changed. We will hook up bar changed, and then we will do the same down here. We will unhook when we leave this state. We will unhook that bar changed event to be nice. And let's see if that even works. Okay, I'm going to press. And oh, yes, that's right. We need to do debug. Debug mode enabled, yes. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Now there's back over here. That's a...
Recursor, that movie's over.
Oh, okay. Look, there's some pie in the refrigerator. Have some pie.
Oh, sounds wonderful. I can calculate the digits.
Yeah, whatever. Just, yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So, health. So we got that, and let's go ahead and do. Let's also add. What value are we changing it to? Value. Well, we need to know what the value is, you know. So let's propagate this in again and say, and you see we know what we're changing it to. So then in this instance, so the reason why I didn't, you can obviously in here you could, when you set percentage, you could actually just set the text. You could say here self.text equals what is it, toString? How does that work? I don't remember. toString, or is it just toString percentage? We could totally do something like that, and you should see a percentage here. You see, and we could say also let's add a percent to the end of it, like this. But I felt like we can, and you can totally leave that in there. I'm just going to comment it out if you want to do that. But I feel like this makes it a little bit more flexible, because what we can do is we can say bar dot text equals toString value. So we can do it like this instead. Now that also means we should come up here when we create our bar. As right here, we can say 0%. So you can, this makes it more flexible. If you want to say low on health or magic or whatever, and the bar gets low, then you can change it whenever you come upon this. And thus, there is our little health bar. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? It looks fantastic and wonderful. You can also, if you get to a certain percentage, like if value is equal to 100, then bar dot, what did we call it? Let's not call it bar color. Let's call it fill color, because that makes more sense. Fill color. So we could actually change this color if we wanted to. Equals, do we have the utilities? We do! Oh, yes, we do! So we'll say u.color red, green, blue, alpha. say end. So we can do things like this. So it's basically allows you to utilize this bar in whatever way you desire. So when we get to 100, oh, it doesn't turn green. It turns, oh, of course, I meant green. Sorry. And we'll get a green from red to green. See how easy that is? It's lovely. So you can control the bar that way. You could derive another module from this bar module, and then you could make it a health module or health bar, whatever. But I do so like the way this is working, I must say. So instead of making this more specific, I choose to comment that out, and I'm making it less specific, and we invoke the on bar changed whenever we change this bar through using the set function here. So that is your health bar. I hope everyone has a healthy, happy holiday. If it's not a holiday where you are, then I'm so sorry, of course. Let's do one quick removal of this print, disable, and then I believe we are done for today, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, our health bar works swimmingly. Until next time, see you.